Paris remains a city on edge today following Friday's terror attacks. A crowd of mourners who'd gathered at one of the French capital's main square, the Place de République, panicked and fled after hearing what sounded like gunshots.
Charlie.
Hundreds of Parisians had come to pay their respects to the victims of the horrific events when sudden noises startled the crowd. Panic-stricken gatherers fled the scene, but police believe the false alarm was in fact a firecracker. Nevertheless, the threat of new terror attacks remains high, according to the French Prime Minister.
Nous vivons et nous allons vivre longtemps avec cette menace terroriste et avec, sans doute, il faut s'y préparer, de nouvelles répliques.
The French Prime Minister also said that the terrorist acts were organised in Syria, and French media has reported that a 27-year-old Belgian-born man sponsored the attacks. The ongoing police investigation, which conducted raids and made several arrests overnight, reportedly seized firearms and cash. Well, meantime, a police hunt's now underway then for Europe's most wanted man, Salah Abdeslam. The suspect is a 26-year-old and was also born in Belgium, in Brussels. He is one of the brothers now believed to be among the attackers. Another of the siblings is reported dead. That's unconfirmed, though, at this point this morning still, while a third brother has been arrested. Here's what's known about the other attackers. Police also say they found a Syrian passport in the body of one of the suspected attackers. Greek authorities have confirmed that a man called Ahmed al-Mohammed with the same passport entered Greece along with asylum seekers in early October. According to Serbian officials, he later crossed over from Macedonia. Serbia and Macedonia are part of the Balkan route, of course, popular among migrants entering Europe. Over 500,000 people have passed through the region into the EU this year, and scores of them are believed to have entered unregistered. EU politicians and experts alike have long been warning of the hidden dangers associated with the migrants.
Evidence that ISIS are now using this route to put their jihadists on European soil.
When ISIS say they will use the migrant tide to flood Europe with 500,000 of their own jihadists, I think we better listen.
We don't want fingerprints.
There are some growers taking money from people and get them to Belgium with that fingerprint and to Germany with that fingerprint.
Refugees and migrants not willing to be registered, not willing to be fingerprinted, not willing to be photographed.
Following the Paris attacks, France is stepping up its security at border controls, and other European countries are following suit too. But experts believe it could be too late, as jihadists may have already exploited loopholes in the EU's open door policy.
France has re-established its border controls and reinforced them within the state of emergency. And we want these measures to be implemented by other EU states and fast, because terrorists cross EU borders and exterior borders.
Paris changes everything. It cannot be that we don't know who is coming to Germany and what these people are doing here. This situation must be brought to an end by all means at our disposal.
How difficult is it for a thief to enter a house with an open door? This is the same situation we have in Europe now. We have the Schengen Treaty that is saying that we have to control our outer borders. We are not doing that. We have the Dublin Treaty, which says that the member states should registrate the immigrants. They are not doing that. There are already thousands of immigrants in France, and among them is a number which nobody knows how high is it of jihadists. So the problem is much more bigger than just to close the borders now.
Well, we've heard that 500,000 people refugees have come into Europe, the EU, this year. But 60% of them are coming from Syria and Iraq, where we know jihadists, Islamic State, Al-Qaeda types have been operating. Then having an open door policy without making checks is obviously going to make it a very dangerous policy in the sense that it would be very easy for terrorists to come in under the guise of being refugees.
The EU's open-door policies triggered protests in Austria. At least 800 people gathered in Spielfeld to voice their concerns over the refugee influx in Europe. At the same time, 200 supporters of asylum seekers staged a counter-demo nearby. Another rally was held in Scotland, where groups protesting the Scottish government's agreement to take in a small quota of asylum seekers, with a number of pro-refugee supporters also countering the protests there too.